Strike Freedom Gundam.
Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184 and...
Hello, Foz Gundam.
And we're continuing our look at the perfect grade Strike Freedom. You've already seen the body parts, but now it's time to take a look at the weapons and the many gimmicks that they contain. Starting with his lowest weapons, Infinite Justice, I guess that would be his shins, but here we've got the railguns on the hips. And what I like about this, first of all, the beam saber is on an independent rotating mechanism, and hopefully it'll stay in place at about the 45 degree. But for this part, if you hold it here and then bend one part, you'll notice that this is on these locking little teeth that are going to move the whole mechanism. And this part, the mechanism here, as you slide that forward, it just shows off that little part of gold here. Now, the problem being, when it's closed up, you will see these parts and they will look ugly, especially this will be forward facing when it's in a standing pose, and when it's opened up, if you don't paint them, it will be even uglier. Now, the Strike Freedom's beam rifles should be epic, and they are. And they always remind me of the old Transformers where they had the twins that looked the same in robot mode, but they transformed into something different. Anyway, on with the important parts. Here, nothing like seals, nothing silly like that. You're going to have separate blue parts, red parts. These are clear parts, which I painted green. I don't know if that was the right color choice. And you are able to mount these on the hips if you move the railguns out of the way. But in terms of the transformation, the most important one, as you take a look here, you're able to slide this forward, and it's a very satisfying sound. And at the back, you can drop this down and open this up, and this is also a clear part that again is painted green. Now for the other one, when you pull this part back, did you notice that this part retracted as well? And not just that, but this part pops up at the top. And when you insert them, you're going to get, if you put this weapon on the SD Gundam, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Small nitpick, but it would have been better if this had a little bit more of a sturdy connection mechanism. Here's the beam sabers, which are pretty common for perfect grades, nothing fancy, no bends, but what I'm really happy about is that on the handle here, you're going to have 3 different notches, and those are all used for different things. This one over here is very shallow, so you're not going to use that except for on display purposes, but the middle one is used when you're putting it into the hip holsters. These 2 ones, though, are used so that you can put them into either manipulator. Once you get the thumb out of the way, you're going to put this in at the bottom, and it's going to lock into place and stay in place fairly well. Let's see if it passes this test. Well, the thumb's holding it in, but anyway, if that's out of the way, well done, Bandai. Well done. And here's an idea for the length of the beam sabers. The Strike Freedom's most noticeable feature are its wings, and the perfect grade, of course, has all the gimmicks built into it that should make it worth the big price tag. First of all, this is going to look a little more plasticky because it's not painted, unlike the other parts of the Gundam. But starting at the top, you're going to have a gold sticker underneath a clear part there, which gives the illusion of depth. And all over the rest of this part here, there are gold stickers here, here. And these parts, you may notice, have a little bit of a bevel to them. So when you put on the gold sticker and you run over that with a Q-tip, you can get them into place quite nicely. But stickers aside, it's the gimmicks that is built into this. First of all, when you put this together, it's going to be similar to the Master Grade, where when you put them on top of each other and open them, these parts are going to spread apart. But the Perfect Grade, its unique thing is that when you open this, it's a very smooth, satisfying slide mechanism, and you're going to get all of these gold bling parts reveal themselves. It's really easy, isn't it, Foz, to count the quality of the Perfect Grade just based on how many parts these Dragoons are, because on the SD Gundam, the whole black and blue part, that's just one solid piece, more or less.
And on the high grade, it is approximately 1 piece.
And then on the Master Grade, you've got 2 blue parts that snap together, but on the Perfect Grade, this has a bunch of moving parts inside.
I can imagine.
With this, whether you choose to put on the gold stickers or not is completely up to you, but there's 4 per side, so you've got a lot of stickering to do. Again, that beveled effect comes across as looking pretty good. Bandai gives you a nice gold part there for the end, and it does have a lock mechanism that you're going to use when you disengage this from the backpack. Unlike the Master Grade, where you're just going to have an opening here as you disengage them, on the Perfect Grade, you've got this mechanism, and this is on a complex slide mechanism with 3 different channels for all the pegs to go down, and basically you're going to use, the first step to get this is just to use something like a beam saber to push that in so that you can then put this onto the backpack. So then when you're actually attaching it on, you're going to put this into its default in position, and then you're going to line it up and get this part in first before getting that front part on, and if everything goes smoothly, you'll get a satisfying click as it attaches. When it's all put together, this is going to work, and the gold stickers here and here complement each other quite well. So in terms of the gimmick, what you're going to do is it says hold on to that, and then you pop this out. And when you do that, you'll notice that the whole thing just opens up. You're going to have the gold exposed here, here, and here. This part is painted, something to be aware of. And then if you want to put it back together, again, hold here, push that down, and then you're going to push the Dragoon back into place. This also has a spring mechanism in here as well. And the final step is that if you want to disengage it completely is to open it just like this, and then you have a button to press here. And this doesn't always work as well as it should, but sometimes it does. You press this button, and then you're able to remove the whole Dragoon. I found that some of these parts move in very easily and everything will attach quite well, and some of them just can end up being quite frustrating, so a little bit of patience may be required. And when you're putting it together, make sure that you've got everything lined up in the channels very, very carefully.
Which I am failing at.
I was just telling Foz here that I really like these gold stickers more just for the fact that without them, this part would be very dark blue and very blue, which of course is very Strike Freedom-ish, but on something this large in the 1/60th scale, that much just monotone color would come across as being a little bit dull, so I'm glad they jazzed it up. Now, I've seen a lot of people on J-blogs and others that have talked about these parts breaking on the wing binders, so everybody be careful with those, and if you can, yeah, extras may not hurt. So that wraps up the rest of the parts, including all of the weapons. And Foz, what was your favorite so far?
I'd say that for sure it is these beam rifles and their connecting features.
Yeah, and for me, it's got to go. I like how simple these are and their gimmicks, but I don't know how you can argue with these. Just the way that everything is going to open up so well. That pop mechanism and the way the gold bling just shows up and the use of stickers, it all works for me. It takes a little bit of practice to get all of this stuff to work very smoothly, but once you do, I think this is going to look pretty impressive when the whole thing's put together. So stay tuned for the next part, everybody, because yes, all of this is going to become a much bigger version of that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let us know what you think with a comment down below, like if you do, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any other videos. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I guess that gun's kind of cool, but I like the high grades better.
Actually, I think just showing that qualifies as a joke for the end of this video.
Jang Kim Pong.